Today we're going to work on what I am calling Spooky Scene. You're going to learn to use the word processing drawing tools to create your spooky scene in Google Docs. So be sure you follow the instructions that are on the attached assignment sheet. You will have the 27th, 28th, and 29th to complete this assignment. And then the 30th is a makeup work day, so you would be able to finish it and turn it in on that day if needed. So let's talk about what I'm looking for in a spooky scene. I've inserted or attached some of my former students' artwork that they created using only drawing tools. And so you can see that this person put a house, and then they have a moon that's possibly something spooky with either fangs or blood coming out of its mouth. They have a tree. They did all of this using shapes. They colored the shapes in different types of feel and textures, and then they also added some text. Here's another example. And another. And another, and there's one last example. So you can kind of see that you can be as creative, as detailed as you would like to be, but then you can also be simple and simply meet the requirements of the assignment. So let's look at what's required for this assignment. The first thing you need to understand is that you're going to only use Google Drawing shapes and tools. So you will not use clip art, you will not use images from the internet, you will only use the Google Drawing shapes. So the first thing you're going to do is the spooky scene. On the spooky scene, if you will open that attachment in your on this assignment, you're going to see that it is a Word document and it says double click to open Google Drawing. Add all spooky scene elements here. So I'm going to double click on it, and this opens Google Drawing. You can delete the text box just by clicking it and pressing the delete key that I have added to get it out of your way because it does not need to be there. So then once you've got that deleted, this is your blank canvas. This is where you're going to create your spooky scene. So let's look back over at the rubric for spooky scene to see what you're going to need. You need a house, a building, or some type of structure. So something that is a structure. You need at least two characters. Can be people, can be animals, can be made up characters, but you need at least two characters. I want you to be creative. And remember, you are not going to use clip art or images from the internet. You're only going to use the drawing tools. And then make it interesting. Use different colors and different, along with your characters. Make it unique and interesting. And then you're going to see that you also have a part two, the spooky scene story, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So within your Google Drawing, you're going to create the structure, the characters, and then add colors. If you want to add some text, you can. To add shapes, you're going to click on the shape button. Then you have shapes that appear here. You also have arrows, callouts, equations. Any of those can be used as part of this assignment. So I'm just going to draw a simple square by clicking on that tool, then dragging my mouse and drawing the square. It's going to automatically fill in with the color blue. Now notice since we've drawn this shape, we have more options in our toolbar. I'm going to click the paint can and change the color of that square to orange. And notice that the outline of my square is black. I'm going to also change the outline to be orange as well. So now I have a completely orange square. When I click off of this square, those tools no longer appear, those options. I would need to click on that square to have the option to make more changes to this shape. So let's say that I have a square. Now I want to make a roof on my house. So I'm going to use a triangle. And I'm going to take my tool shape and try to make a triangle. It's not going quite as I had planned it. Let's see if I can get this to be what I want it to be. Anyway, if you want to add the top to your house, maybe mine's just going to be a topsy-turvy type of house. But anyway, you can add your triangle or add any roof shape and then change the color to what you would want it to be. I'm going to have mine a black shape. And then again, if I wanted to maybe add, oh, there's the triangle. I chose the wrong one. That shows my artistic abilities. So there's the triangle. I chose the wrong shape. This time I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to put some eyes on my house and try to make them a little bit spooky. And then I'm going to try, let's see, let's put this on the inside of it. And let's fill that in with red. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just drawing shapes, adding shapes. You can also layer shapes. So let's say that I want a background. So I could draw a huge rectangular square shape, but it covers up what I already have there. I can right click on it and choose order, and I can tell it to send to back. And that way now my shapes are on top that I had created earlier and my background is in the back. And then I can also go in and change the color. There are gradient colors available. So I'm going to try to do kind of like a spooky night scene. And then I think I might take another rectangular shape and try to make something that looks like the ground here. And I'm going to need this. Well, maybe I didn't do that. There we go. And then I'm going to make that kind of a gradient green color. I drag it up. I'm going to need to send it backward again. Order, send to back. I don't want to send it that far back. Let's bring it forward a little bit. Bring it forward. Oh no. There we go. So now I have my sky and I have my grass, and now I can continue to add the elements that I want to my scene. Once I've finished, I can save and close, and then my scene will appear on the Google Doc. If I decide that I need to go back and change anything, I can simply double click and go in and start making the changes. So it's pretty simple. It's just how creative do you want to be? So be sure you meet all the required elements. Then you also need to write a story to go along with your scene. So on your assignment, you also have a Google Doc that says Spooky Scene Story. And so your instructions tell you to type your first and last name and strike enter 2 times, and then you're going to type your story. For your story, you're going to need to type at least 4 sentences telling me what is happening in your scene or what's going on in your scene. Tell me why you chose this scene and what's going on. I need at least 4 sentences. You can write more, or you can write 4 sentences and stop. But tell me what is going on in your scene. If you have any questions about this assignment, let me know. Don't rush through this. You have 3 class days to work on this. And then you also have that makeup work day that you could finish it out if you needed to. So don't rush through this. Make this something interesting and neat that I will want to share with future classes. If you have any questions, email me at smithla@whitehallsd.org.